recently met with Donald Trump in Florida. What did you guys talk about?
I was at a breakfast at a friend's place, and Donald Trump came by. That's it.
What did you discuss?
Let's just say he did most of the talking.
Did he ask you for money?
He didn't.
Are you going to loan him money to help pay his legal bills?
I'm not paying his legal bills in any way, shape, or form.
Did he ask you for a donation?
No.
Are you leaning towards anyone?
No.
You're not leaning towards anyone? Because you've been very...
I'm leaning away from Biden.
You're leaning... You talk about your ketamine use and depression. You also have said...
The reason I should say, the reason I mentioned the ketamine prescription on the X platform was because I thought maybe this is something that could help other people. Mm-hmm. That's why I mentioned it. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but I would say if someone has depression issues, they should consider talking to their doctor about ketamine instead of SSRIs.
Hate speech on the platform is up. Do you believe that X and you have some responsibility to moderate hate speech on the platform? That you wouldn't have to answer these questions from reporters about the Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Democrats?
I don't have to answer these questions.
The Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Jewish people. Do you think that?
I don't have to answer questions from reporters. Don, the only reason I'm doing this interview is because you're on the X platform and you asked for it. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I would not do this interview.
So you don't think? Do you think that you wouldn't get in trouble or you wouldn't be criticized for these things?
I'm criticized constantly. I could care less.
Prima donna Lemon.
MrReagan.
First, a shameless pitch for my merch. I have designed what I'm calling my Trump collection. It's 6 original Trump designs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus a repurposed ad from Ronald Reagan in the 1980s, which I thought was very cool. If you like this stuff, buy some of it. If not, get a Mr. Reagan mug or an America First t-shirt or a Trump mugshot mug. After all, he is America's most wanted, no matter which side of the political divide you are on. All right, now let's get talking about America's sweetheart, Don Lemon. I was about to say, let's get into this, but Don Lemon would probably take that as some kind of twisted invitation. No. So yesterday, Elon Musk posted a very simple tweet. Don Veruca Salt Lemon. Veruca Salt was, of course, the spoiled little rich girl character from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Musk's tweet comes on the heels of a breakdown of contract negotiations between X and Don Lemon, who was planning to distribute his new show exclusively on X. Now, it appears that there were 2 pretty strong reasons that these negotiations broke down, and ultimately, Elon Musk appears to have made an executive decision to not go into business with Don Lemon. Now, I understand the impulse to bring Don Lemon, even though he's an idiot, to bring him on the platform. He's got a big audience and he has a different perspective than most known figures who produce content on Twitter. And that is a good thing, diversity of ideas. Even if he's wrong about everything, it's still good to hear what a prominent representative of the left thinks about things. That's why I always encourage conservatives to, at least occasionally, expose themselves to leftist news media. But according to the New York Post, Don Lemon does not actually have any original ideas at all. The man is, according to this reporting, the quintessential NPC. On CNN, it has been revealed that all he did while he was there was to say exactly what he was told to say. He did not think for himself. He just repeated what the executives fed him through his earpiece. Don Lemon is a mindless automaton drone, but he is gay and black, and so he was the perfect face for the uber-woke CNN. A political commentator with no original thoughts is absolutely worthless. And when Elon Musk figured this out, I think he was like, wait, why are we thinking about paying this guy? And how did Elon Musk figure this out? Well, he agreed to be Don Lemon's first guest. And what did Don Lemon do? Well, he attacked Elon Musk with the standard insane left-wing attacks, essentially characterizing Musk as a hateful racist and a danger to society. And if doing this was Don Lemon's own bright idea, it might be the first original thought this guy has ever had. And it starts to make sense why CNN never let him think for himself. But here is where things really get crazy. On top of the worthlessness that Don Lemon was promising to bring to Twitter, on top of his unhinged attack on his would-be boss, Elon Musk, For the privilege of having Don Lemon's new show distributed exclusively on X, Don Lemon reportedly demanded a litany of extravagant luxuries, a Cybertruck, $5 million, and equity in X. And it only gets worse from there. This list is more audacious than what one might expect from a prima donna movie star on a blockbuster Hollywood set. And so that's why I have labeled him Prima Donna Lemon. Let's be honest, that's probably already his drag name. All right, I'm going to read you the details of this story directly from the New York Post articles themselves, and trust me, this is worth reading through in one moment. First, of course, I have to sell you something. You'd have to be living under a rock not to have heard that gold has been hitting record highs. That is quite an achievement since gold has been used as money for thousands of years.
And I'm going to add to Bitcoin gold. Gold's had a tremendous move here. I think might have been off today, but it's had a tremendous move.
But why is it surging in 2024? Gold thrives when everything else looks shaky, like the dollar, the national debt, overpriced markets, the cost of living, global wars, and an election that will determine whether America makes a comeback or fades into broken border bureaucratic obscurity.
Is gold still a hedge against inflation?
I think you could argue yes.
Gold has traditionally been looked at as something
Bitcoin.
to diversify your portfolio. Own a little bit of gold. And now
Priority Gold wants to help you hedge the markets, the swamp, the squad, the Fed, the woke mob, and the Washington insiders who want to destroy your savings. Call 469-405-4140 to learn about gold and get up to $2,500 in free silver, which CNBC suggests may have a bigger upside than gold. You can also text Mr. Reagan to that same number, 469-405-4140, for a free gold report, and again, up to $2,500 in free silver. Don't wait on this. Barron says gold continues to climb. The Wall Street Journal sees more green lights for gold, and the Asia Times says investors are now buying gold as insurance because the likelihood of a black swan event is rising. Look, you can do nothing and hope for the best. We saw how that worked out last time around, or you can protect yourself from Joe Biden's dangerous new world. Call 469-405-4140, or you can text that same number, Mr. Reagan, MrReagan, all one word, 469-405-4140. Call them right now. These guys are going to tell you how to hedge with gold, and you can get up to $2,500 in free silver. Okay, so Don Lemon does this hit job interview on his future boss, and then he has the audacity to demand a free Cybertruck and all these other crazy things, and then he's surprised when Elon Musk backs out of the deal. Yeah, you know what, Don? I don't think it's going to work out. But why? Damn it, Elon, I want my Cybertruck. I'm waiting for, somebody's writing in the comment section right now. Okay, Chris, you do that a little too well. Yeah, true, yeah.
What happened?
I felt really good about the interview. I said to him, I think it's good that people see folks like you and I who have different worldviews come together and talk, as he says, have free speech. Apparently that doesn't matter to Elon Musk. It's just for maybe talking points for him or rhetoric, because it doesn't seem to matter when it's about him, questions about him from people like me.
First, the great replacement theory, right? He has gone there directly. How much does he stand by these ideas?
Well, he doesn't understand that sort of rhetoric that he talks about, the great replacement theory and migrant invasion, that's what radicalized shooters use in their manifestos, those exact words. And I wanted to know if he felt any responsibility as someone who has one of the largest social media and information platforms in the world.
250 million people.
A 250 million people. I think it's 455 or 500 million users a week. And it doesn't seem that he feels that he has any responsibility with that, because he seemed really averse to facts.
All right, so of course, Don Lemon plays the victim. He says Elon Musk doesn't want people like him on the platform.
In a statement earlier today, Lemon writes in part, his commitment to a global town square where all questions can be asked and all ideas can be shared seems not to include questions of him from people like me.
It doesn't seem to matter when it's about him, questions about him from people like me.
But apparently, free speech absolutism doesn't apply when it comes to questions about him from people like me.
And so, it sounds a lot like Don Lemon is suggesting that Elon Musk doesn't want black people or gay people to have a voice on X. That's the kind of coded language that the left is always accusing conservatives of using. But of course, Elon Musk was negotiating an exclusive contract with Don Lemon, and I don't think Musk was unaware that Don Lemon was black or gay when he agreed to enter into those negotiations. So what the heck is Don Lemon even talking about? This is just an idiotic thing for Don Lemon to say. But of course, he's going to say this because he's an incompetent idiot. All right, so let me read you from the New York Post articles that expose all of this. All right, so this first article is called Elon Musk abruptly canceled Don Lemon's show on X hours after taping an interview for debut episode. They write, Don Lemon was fired again. Even before the debut of his new show on X, Elon Musk abruptly canceled the Don Lemon show hours after sitting down for an interview with the canned CNN anchor that was supposed to serve as his premiere episode on the platform. This is what Lemon said on Wednesday. So Don Lemon, of course, said all this bad stuff about Elon Musk. And then Elon Musk said his approach was basically just CNN, but on social media, which doesn't work, as evidenced by the fact that CNN is dying. Instead of it being the real Don Lemon, it was just Jeff Zucker talking through Don, so it lacked authenticity. All this said, Lemon and Zucker are of course welcome to build their viewership on this platform, along with everyone else. Lemon seemed lost without former CNN boss Zucker's guidance. He was unpolished. He didn't have producers in his ear. Jeff Zucker used to be in his ear, and he would repeat back everything he was told, the source told the Post. I didn't know this, but that's pretty crazy, yeah? Lemon conducted the interview with a bare-bones staff that included his fiancée. It was not the big team that the former anchor had at CNN, the source added. Don was underwhelming, unprepared, and dull, the source said, noting that Lemon did not ask any edgy or interesting questions. All right, let's shoot on over to the second article. This one, also by the New York Post. This one is, Don Lemon demanded Tesla Cybertruck $5 million advance equity in X before Elon Musk canned him, according to sources. Don Lemon demanded the sun, the moon, and the stars from SpaceX boss before being unceremoniously dumped this week, the Post has learned. The ex-CNN anchor sent over an astronomical wish list to Elon Musk during contract talks to host a show on the billionaire's social media platform X, including a free Tesla Cybertruck, a $5 million upfront payment on top of an $8 million salary, an equity stake in the multi-billion-dollar company. Man, they were going to give him $8 million salary? Why? Why would you do that? It's Don Lemon. An equity stake in the multi-billion-dollar company and the right to approve any changes in X policy as relates to news content. Lemon, who's expected to air an interview with Musk for next week's debut episode on X, has also demanded a private jet flight to Las Vegas, a suite for him and his fiancée, and that the company pay for their day drinking and massages, a source with knowledge of the situation said. There you go. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that Don Lemon is a brainless CNN puppet or a weak brat with feelings of false entitlement, but I suppose the extent to which he suffered from these shortcomings, I'm not sure we fully understood until now. Don Lemon has, metaphorically speaking, taken a gun, pressed it firmly against the head of his already dead career, and pulled the trigger. Killing his career was so nice, he did it twice. I make myself laugh. In the grand scheme of things, this overpaid diversity hire should never have been hired by CNN in the first place. But the world is a cruel and unjust place. And so, for one terrible period in the history of mainstream media, Don Lemon was a star. Thank goodness that time is over. All right, that's it for me. Now go buy all my overpriced stuff on Teespring. Like I said, I've got some really great new t-shirts and mugs that I'm really proud of, so go have a look at that stuff or just send me some money through a super thanks here on YouTube so that we can keep trying to save the world. These videos aren't always great, but every once in a while, I produce a gem. All right, thanks for watching, and remember, it's not that our liberal friends are ignorant, it's just they know so much that is not so. Good night.
Together, with God's help, we can and will resolve the problems which now confront us. And after all, why shouldn't we believe that? We are Americans. God bless you and thank you.